You're listening to Daily Manna Devotionals. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, you all are having a great morning, day, night, whatever time you're listening to this. Let's get into this. Today's devotion is called Words for the Crossroads. The scripture: I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you and watch over you. Psalms 32:8. Sometimes we face a major crossroad in life, and when we do, we find ourselves wondering what God's will is for the decision we must make. Maybe that's where you are right now. The most important advice for life's crossroads is this: seek God's will. He knows best for you, and He doesn't want you to wander aimlessly through life. Never forget, God made you, and He knows all about you, including the gifts and abilities He gave you. More than that, He loves you and wants what's best for you. Maybe you've been living for yourself and for the moment rather than for Him and for things eternal. But don't stay on that path. You will only end up in a blank wall if you ignore God's plan for your life. Ask God to guide you as you make decisions about your future. He may not show you everything at once, but with Christ in your heart, you can face the future with confidence, knowing He will lead you in His perfect way. This devotion comes out of Wisdom for Each Day devotional by Billy Graham. This one really hits home for me because so many times, and I may be more blessed than other people are as far as God speaking to them, but many times in my life, God has spoken to me directly. No, I can't hear like a voice in my head. I'm not saying that I'm not crazy, but I don't hear any voices in my head. But what He does do is speaks to me very directly through other mediums. So, for instance, I've prayed before. I was on the verge of buying a restaurant and with a partner, and was literally gonna sign the paperwork and was praying at that very moment. I was literally praying, God, if you don't want me to do this, then close the door. Give me a sign. Close the door, because today I need to sign this paperwork and move forward. And I got a mini manna, which is a little text message that my grandpa's ministry does. At that very moment, I got, when I'm praying about God, close the door, what should I do, etc. That very same moment, I got a message in that life-changing situation. I got a message in that exact moment saying, when God closes the door, just wait in the hallway. Something like that. I can't remember the exact words, but it was while I'm literally praying in my head about God and what to do about opening or closing the door. Should I move forward or stay where I'm at? Close that door and I'll just stay where I'm at. And at that exact time, I got that message saying, when God closes the door, just stand in the hallway and wait for the next door. So things like that have happened to me many different times in my life where I've prayed things like that and it's been directly answered. Or times where I've been really worried about, like I know one time I was very worried about an ex-girlfriend of mine who I wasn't with, but she was on a pretty bad path. And after she was with me, she got on a pretty bad path. And people were worried about her. Her family was worried about her. I was worried about her. Nobody could get a hold of her, and she was kind of MIA for a day or two. So we were just worried about her. And I remember standing at a gas station, pumping gas, and I hadn't talked to her. Personally hadn't talked to her in days, and nobody had talked to her in a couple of days. For me, it was more like weeks or maybe even a month without talking. But anyway, I was praying at the gas station for her, and just that she would be okay and that she would let somebody know that she's okay, just so people could be at peace, her family and stuff. And at that very moment, she called me. And while I was praying that, she called me after all these days of not talking to her. And said, hey, just wanted to let you know that I'm okay. Wanted to let my family know too, so I'm going to call them, but you guys have probably been worried. So it's just like, the point of that story is just many times in my life, God has answered my prayers directly, where it's been undeniable that He is real. So I just wanted to illustrate that, with a couple of examples, but I've got a ton of examples of that. And I think it's important to make opportunities for God to speak to us through different mediums, whether that be spending more time in prayer or in thought, or when you're driving around, just spend some time in prayer in your head. You'll be amazed what, if you're paying attention, the ways that God will make himself known, that he will answer your prayers if you just kind of open yourself up to it. The more open you are and the more time you spend in prayer with him, the more opportunities he has to show you the right answer. So very, very important to me to seek him in every life decision that I make. And I can honestly say that there's been a few over my life that I've ignored what I thought he wanted me to do, but there's not been any big decisions that I can remember in my grown-up life that I didn't consult him first, that I didn't pray and spend time trying to decipher what I think he wants from my life, because I've definitely realized over time the way certain things have worked out and evolved, and everything has a way of working out for the best. And 100% I believe that God is in control of my life and knows what my path is much better than I do, and I totally trust him with that. So if he told me to sell my house and go be homeless and live with my kids on the streets, I would do it. Whatever, if he wanted me to go to Africa or somewhere, which would be a big thing because I'm a super picky eater, so traveling anywhere like that would be really difficult on me. Can't get a McDonald's there or something, then I'd be in trouble. But anyway, the point is that I would go anywhere that I thought God wanted me to. If I believed that he was answering my prayers and pushing me a certain direction, I would 100% do that no matter what it is, because I know that ultimately he has a way better plan than I do. And if he wants me to go in that direction, then it's definitely the direction that I want to go, because it'll work out a lot better. The times that I went against his will, or what I thought was his will, a lot of times that did not end very well, and I ended up in a pretty bad situation. So I try to seek him in every big decision, and I think we can always do better at that, because we can always do better at everything we do. We can always strive for a little bit better and getting a little closer to him, and we're always learning. We're human. So I'm going to try to keep doing it, try to spend more time in prayer, try to have more opportunities for God to give me his words of wisdom and to guide me at the crossroads. So hopefully you guys do the same. It's a little bit long-winded. I got a little bit rambly there. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But have a great day. God bless.